Say what needs to be said. It's your host, your big dog, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel. Got my co-host, my homie, my roomie, all that good stuff, Mr. EP, Mr. Elton, EP the Truth Patterson. You know, we go way back. We spent a lot of time together. We've been together, been through a lot of things together, been on this NFL journey together. So we you know, we got a lot of history together. What's up, brother?
Right. What's up, man? Morning, top of the morning. They say this the first week. I saw a post someone say this the first week without football. How y'all fellas doing?
Right, that's what's going on. It's the first week without football, boy. That is insanity, boy. That is crazy. But
it's like a whole mental, whole mental change of pace. You know, here's the key part: when you got them kids, man, and they into their sports and everything, it just goes right into the next season. So I'm good.
That's how you enjoy it, boy. That's how you enjoy it. That's how you enjoying live right there. Enjoying live. This Patriot Marathon. We about to get into this Patriot Marathon. We're trying to get a few people in here in the building.
Okay.
Before we get to it. You know what I mean? Let me look for a few things real quick. There we go. All right, let's get into it. Get into this thing. Say what needs to be said. Patriot Marathon. Mr. Pick Six, we in the building, man. Let's go. Who we got in the building with us in the chat? What's happening? Bright and early. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We here, baby. It's going down. All right, man. Patriot Marathon, like I say, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to go through it. We're going to have some fun. I'm going to let you in the insights and how things went and the backstories. It may look good on the outside, but some good things and some bad things. That's part of playing in the NFL, being on a great team, a dynasty. You get to experience a lot of greatness, a lot of ups, a lot of downs, but you understand what it takes to be great, to be a team player, to be a winner, and things like that. So I think it's important we talk about my career and the Patriots dynasty and that whole situation and how it went down. And, you know, now that Bill Belichick is no longer a part of the organization, why not? Let's go through it. Let's have some fun. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It all started in 2003 with the 120th pick. My phone rings. It's someone from the Patriots organization. Hello, Asante. We are selecting you with the 120th pick in the NFL draft. Hold on 1 second. The head coach, Mr. Bill Belichick, wants to speak to you. Wow, the Grin Reaper. Bill Belichick, the mastermind. Belichick gets on the phone and he congratulates me. He congratulates me from being drafted. We have a little talk, and he asked me, am I excited about being a New England Patriot? Hell yeah, I was excited to be a New England Patriot. Didn't really know too much about the Patriots. You know, New England, didn't really know where that was on the map. It wasn't on the map, so I didn't really know about New England and stuff like that.
Did you know who Bill Belichick was?
I didn't know who Bill Belichick was. My brother did. Okay. Rick did. He had the Ty Law jersey and all that stuff. He was real familiar with the team. So that's he kind of helped me out a little bit. Actually, he had on that jersey. That was one of his significant jerseys right there, the Ty Law jersey. Okay. So like I say, me and Bill, we had a little talk. He congratulated me and things like that. And I was on my way to New England with an itinerary on deck, headed for rookie minicamp. And if y'all never been to rookie minicamp, let me tell you, or heard about rookie minicamp, it's the hardest camp I ever experienced in my life. It's only, you know, all the draft picks. So you got 7 rounds, 7 draft picks out there. And then you got the free agent picks. It was probably about 10, 12, 15 free agent, undrafted rookie free agents. And we're the only one that practice. So I'm a cornerback, and it's probably about 3 cornerbacks, depending on the draft.
Right.
And then you got the receivers, and so on and so forth. So say I'm at cornerback and I play punt return, right? So now I got to guard the vice guy, and immediately after that play, I got to go down there and return the punt. Then immediately after that, I got to run down as the gunner and try to defend the punt with no breaks in between. And we did that for like 15 minutes. Man, I was so exhausted. I thought I was gonna break. I thought they was gonna break me. I thought that was the end for
Right.
me. Thought that was
Right.
the end. But I made
That's
it.
the
That was the
purpose.
hardest. That's part of the journey. Making it to those things.
Most times that's the purpose of those rookie camps, is to break people, to see who really has it, who really can compete. So it's like a parameter of breaking people up. But you being the 4th round pick, you probably was straight even if you couldn't finish. It's the ones that go free agent, and it's because it's like 30 of them out there. And the ones that can finish are the ones they take a look at. But if you can't finish, you went free agent, it's a wrap. But you made it through, though. You had that heart.
I made it through it. It was rough. And like you said, if you can't make it and you show that sign of weakness, you quitting and they can break you and they can get to you mentally, it's over with, man. Like you said, if you a late round draft pick free agent, it's over. It's over. Right. So now we get to after I make it through training camp, meet all the rookies and things like that, and see these different egos and characters. Everybody talk about how good they was. You got the Bester Johnsons, Eugene Wilsons, Dan Klecos, Ty Warrens. That's my draft class. Tully Bentacane and all those. Salute all my fellow draft picks. You know what I mean? So we get the training camp. Now we get all the big dogs with us. Everybody there. I mean, the whole team. You know what I mean? So, but what was significant right before training camp, or not right before training camp, we in training camp, and it was 5 days before the first game of the season, and Lawyer Malloy, the heart and soul of the defense, the passionate leader, the vocal leader, was released. And then I realized shit was real. Right. Lawyer Malloy, the all-world safety in New England, the heart and soul, the passionate person, the passionate player on the defense, the one that is going to get the morale up, bring that energy. Bill released him. Bill released Lawyer Malloy at the worst possible time to release a player with only 5 days left until the start of the season. That was crazy. And after his release, he immediately agreed to a deal with the Buffalo Bills, who we happened to play in the first game of the year. Woo!
Same conference.
Hey, that karma came back and bit us right in that ass, boy. I'm talking about bite, boy. Now, at that time, I had established myself as a starting dime back, and I entered in the game when 4 receivers came into the game. I would be the 4th DB, right? But like I say, that karma whooped our ass. We got our ass whooped 31-0. I mean, Lawyer came out dancing, shining, doing his thing. Now, here goes another crazy part. Now, after that meeting, Belichick came and he cussed us out. I was used to him cussing us out in preseason. He came in slamming the boys, and I was like, this was preseason, and blah, blah, blah. And he released the player during preseason after a game for missing a tackle. Okay. And he came in, like I say, cussing us out in the team meeting. And right after that team meeting, he released Sean Mayer, a fellow rookie free agent who had just made the team. And I didn't even know you can be released after making a team like that. Again, I got a serious reminder that shit is real around here. Don't play no games or your ass will be gone sooner rather than later. So don't play no games. Now, after, like I say, I made the team. We had the first game. After that game, players was cut. People changes. Positions were changes. Everybody, people were demoted and stuff like that. So I was able to move up and become the starting nickel back now. I'm not the dime back no more. I move up on you know, I ain't just putting the lettuce no more. Now I'm flipping burgers, baby. I'm moving up. So now I'm the starting nickel back. And we get to the 3rd game of the season against the New York Jets. And this game was crazy. It's a rivalry. Belichick, he had signed one day to be the head coach and then quit. So it was a lot of beef and a lot of tension against this team. And like I say, the 3rd game of the year, the 3rd game of the season against New York Jets, Vinny Testaverde and Wayne Quebec. They come out in the slot. They come out, try a little option route. Interception. My first interception. And it so happened to be for a touchdown. Now, I had never ran no touchdown in a game, and especially on defense and things like that. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to act. I didn't know how to swag. I just kind of threw the ball down. It was surprising. It was a great feeling. I can't lie. You know, people was talking crazy and saying contracts and the contract extensions, and everybody was screaming in the stadium, and the coach saying, "Defense, you back up." And I'm like, I just
probably
scored.
tired.
I can't go back. And
Right.
everything was just moving too fast for me. But it was experience. It's part of it. So I did that. Now Ty Law had an All-Pro year my rookie year in 2003. I was able to experience greatness right off the rip. So I don't understand what these people talk about with greatness. So I see Ty Law right off the rip, balling out of control. I think he had like 6 picks and 20-something pass breakups, and all that good stuff. Now in the 5th game of the year against Tennessee Titans, Ty got his first interception of the year. And it's a reason I'm bringing this up. Now, when Ty get an interception, you get that ball, he think about a lot of things. If y'all haven't seen him on the Dynasty, that's how he acts. He want that money. He think about contract extension. He trying to figure out a way to create some leverage to get some more money. So Ty Law got an interception. Like I said, he had an All-Pro year. Now, like I said, what was so significant about that interception, when he got back to the locker room, Ty was like, "That's number 37 right there, young buck." And I'm like, 37? What do you mean? 37. All I need is 13 more to have 50 interceptions. You know what that means? That means Hall of Fame. Say, oh, okay. Now at that time, I only got what? 1 interception in my career. So 50 seems like winning the lottery, right? And so he's telling me he's trying to make it to 50 interceptions to make it to the Hall of Fame, and 50 interceptions is pretty much what it takes. So this is where I learned this stuff from. I don't make these things up. You understand what I'm saying? I saw greatness with my own eyes. I saw Ty Law. I saw Tom Brady. So don't think I'm here just trying to attack people or get on people. No, I need the system to be correct, because greatness needs to be held to the top totem pole. You know what I mean? Right. So that's what I learned from Ty Law. Ty Law, he was great at letting me understand everything was normal. These coaches are just normal. They're men. They're men just like us. You know what I mean? Don't think they have any certain powers that can do anything special to you. They put on their clothes just like you. They bleed just like you. So I understood that from Ty, right? Now we get into the 2004 season, right? 2004, that season started off confusing for me. It started off confusing because I had just recorded like 2 interceptions that season. My rookie season had 11 pass breakups, one touchdown, and like I said, 11 passes defended. But however, heading into training camp, they had just signed Terrell Buckley, an old veteran that used to play for Belichick, I think when they won the first Super Bowl.
Right.
And like I said, it's confusing to me because it immediately put T-Buck, that's what we call Terrell Buckley, T-Buck right in front of me at the starter nickel spot. I think this is like his 13th year. So Belichick had signed him specifically to play nickel. And this is when I requested my first meeting with the head coach, the mastermind of coaches, Bill Belichick. So I had my meeting with Coach Belichick, and I asked Coach Belichick, "What's going on? You think I can't play or something? Like, why did you come bring Terrell Buckley and put him right in my position? I played solid last year. I had a pretty good season, and I'm going to get better. What are you doing? What is the purpose here, Asante?" Coach Belichick, and he looks at me, "Asante, you don't have nothing to worry about. I just have him here to push you, to help you get better." And I felt good at the time about this conversation. And, the conversation, which kind of turned out to be true, right? Before the first game of the season, they released T-Buck. And
dang.
Yeah, they released T-Buck, and I was a star.
Sounds crazy, but go ahead.
I was a star. Yeah, man, he signed. I don't understand what type of control issues and things like that. So Terrell Buckley, he didn't take it too well. He stayed around, and they wanted him to get out. But he was like, "I'm gonna eat him a shower, I'm gonna get a massage, and all this thing." So that's the vet mentality, right?
Right. Jeez.
So right before that season, right, I remember hearing Rodney Harrison asking for a contract extension. Like he was just playing lights out, led us to 2 Super Bowls. You know what I mean? Or he just wanted some more money for playing at such a great level. He was making he was on the lower pay threshold for safeties. And it wasn't fair market value for Rodney Harrison. We won 2 Super Bowls. Like I say, he's the leader. He's the big dog. Now, what do you think Coach Belichick's response was, EP, when he asked, when Rodney Harrison asked for a little more money?
Well, I can imagine what it wasn't, which is, yeah, sure, how much you want? We love you. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the response.
So if you know what it wasn't, what you think it was?
Now, I don't know how Belichick approach his guys when like face to face, but from what I see on TV, it's probably like, that's not our Patriots way of doing things right now.
Basically, this is a $1 billion trillion industry. You know what I mean? He offered this man $100,000 more on top of his contract. That's the rumors I heard. And and he didn't even flinch at that thing. It was like, I'm not going to even argue it. I love to play football, but it's just like another slap in the face. All we continue to get as a Patriot is slap in the face. No matter how much we win, how good we do, no matter what, we just get slaps in the face. Right. Player after player, and we got to deal with it, right? So now we're in my second season, my first in my second preseason. So now we got this preseason game against the Cincinnati Bengals, who my dog EP the Truth was drafted to. Yeah. And as I'm taking the field, I'm starting, like I said, and I'm out there and I'm doing my thing. And Ocho Cinco, he sees me. I'm doing my thing. Ocho Cinco sees me on the field. As soon as Ocho Cinco see me on the field, he points at me and say something to like, this rookie right here. And he goes through, he's pointing at me and he's running back to Carson Palmer. Hey, Carson, I got one over here. We both from South Florida. So, this was back in those days where Ocho liked to talk shit. You know what I mean? He was sending letters to players in their lockers and things like that and talking about their friends and girlfriends and all type of stuff. So that was his thing back then. So it wouldn't be right if he didn't try to, do me in so he could talk some shit to another South Florida kid. So like I said, he immediately went back to Carson Palmer. And on the exact next play, Ocho Cinco lines up right in front of me. And he takes off. He goes deep. He running full speed. And that ball is up in the air. And we both go up for the ball. But I get to it first. And I come down with that thing. Boom. Ocho quickly, he got up. He looked at me with sort of bug-eyed for about 3 to 4 seconds, like he was still looking at me, running back to his huddle. And he coasted to his bench. And I was super excited about that play. That was the Carson Palmer and Ocho Cinco were top players in the NFL at that time. So I'm excited. I'm feeling myself. I'm thinking I'm starting to establish myself in the NFL. Then Bill comes over. And tell me, Asante, I'm not going to watch these guys get behind you like this. Now I'm super confused. I just made a great play. I just made a turnover. And that was the best response Bill Belichick had for me.
All right.
They criticized me negatively when I just made a great play against a great player.
All right.
EP was drafted to the Bengals. Yeah. What do you remember happened live? What you seen live? How you felt when that was going down?
Well, let me back it up just a little bit, just to tag, because I want to give everybody watching or who may watch my point of view, right? Because all of this sounds normal to you. It sounded crazy to me. Or living it out, it sounded crazy. And let me tell you why. All right, so I went 7th round to the Bengals, right? We got through our first year, your first year. We kind of talking on the phone. Yeah, EP, I'm back up right now. I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm active all 16 games, but they didn't play me. But my time coming, but I'm watching the NFL, come. And like you said, you're learning stuff, which is crazy that you went into the coach's office after they put a veteran in front of you. I don't really see no second-year guy going and asking why you signed somebody.
I thought I was established, baby. I thought I was the man,
Just from an agent standpoint of view, I am an active agent in NFL. There's no way I would tell my client to go ask why they not playing you second year or why they got. because you see the bigger picture. You drafted 4th round, unless you're trash, you're gonna be part of the plan, which is probably what Belichick was like. You ain't got nothing to worry about. He's at the tail end of his career, but you didn't see that. No, you didn't see that as a player. You just like, why he in front of me, right?
The best player wins. The best player wins. Whoever produced the most. That's my mindset. That's my motto.
Right.
You see Belichick on the Dynasty talking about it's not about what you did yesterday. It's about what you did today. It's a what have you done for me lately business. So that's my motto. But go ahead.
Right. So yeah. So you don't see none of that, but you got to ask. Like, this little kid is passionate out here. All right. Bam. EP. I'm looking at the schedule. Preseason. Zant, y'all come play here. Oh yeah. Come scoop me up. I was like, you're not gonna do like team, man. Forget all that team stuff, bro. Right after team meeting, whatever I got. He said, oh, you said this, bro. I got one obligation to be at team dinner at 6:30. I ain't got to stay. I just got to check in. Be there at 6:35. All right, cool. I pull up on you. I can pull up on you in my wheel. I don't know where we go. We might go out to eat or something. We chill.
No, I remember exactly what happened. Do you remember exactly what happened? This was when I was a Benny Hunter fiend. I was fiending Benny Hunter. I love Benny Hunter. I'm like, EP, y'all got a Benny Hunters up there? He was like, yeah. So we pulled up. We go to the Benny Hunters. And now, when you go to the Benny Hunters, I don't know if y'all have been to Cincinnati. There's a Benny Hunters in Cincinnati, but you got to pull around the back, and it's just weird people back there. I don't know, people trying to park, take money, and stuff like that. And like you said, I had to be back at 6:35. I don't remember correctly, but were they about to tow the car, or did the car get towed?
They was about to tow the car. Because I was like, nah, we good. I played with the Bengals. You like, you sure?
Because I'm like, I got to be back at 6:35. I only got about 45 minutes or an hour. So if a car get towed, there's no way that I'm going to make it back. And once again, I told y'all how Bill Belichick cut people, boy. He probably would cut me if I missed this team meeting. Like, what am I doing? So go ahead. What is
but we made it. We made it. We made it. But I get you back to the hotel. You kind of stressing a little bit. I get you back to the hotel, drop you off, right? So now here's the thing that I want to let people understand the difference maker on what impacted me is you're a Zant or Asante. You're not Asante Samuel. You're a Zant. What up, Zant? Yeah, I can be
your roommate.
All right, bro. Right, your roommate. All right, dog. I'm gonna holler at you later. Right. See you tomorrow. Hey, we gonna win this game. What up, boy? We gonna such and such. Come out on the field and warm up. What up, Zant? You like, what up, dog? I'm like, yeah, I'm in the NFL. It's cool. My coach had told me, hey, Eldon, come out here. We're gonna get you in because I'm a rookie. Nah, I'm second year, but I got drafted 7th round. We're gonna get you in probably 3rd or 4th quarter. Yada yada. All right, cool. I know my role, you know. But we know the starters, and the starter is Carson Palmer, who went #1 pick. Did he win the Heisman? I'm not even sure if he won the Heisman, but he was
I think he might have.
He was the #1 pick, and at this time it's Chad Johnson. They are the whole team. Like, everybody respect them. Yada yada. We on the sideline now in the game. I got my uniform on, not sweating at all. I ain't in the game. I see the first. Now this from my point of view. So now I'm on the sideline and I see Asante Samuels on the field. Now, I know I'm not in y'all camp, but I'm like, dang, he out there before me. Right? So I'm like, well, dang, I get it.
Hey, it's always competition, man. You know, it's fun competition, it's serious competition. You know, he want to play and I want to play. You know, we all want to be on the field and make it. So, you know, we kind of look at it.
We only 13, 14, 18 months removed from us going on the field at the same time. So now you're out here, big time football, 80,000 people out there on the field. I get over that though. I'm like, all right, when my time comes in this 3rd or 4th quarter, I'm gonna ball, right? Bam, son. Long flow. Everybody look. I'm talking about everybody. The whole Carson, this from my point of view. Carson drop back, throw the ball. All I see is this dude with some dreads come, pick it up, and I'm like, these are stars. Zant did that, and if a camera would have caught me, I would have like, Zant, that's Zant out there, dude. He just intercepted Carson. Wow, this is
on Ocho Cinco. Now you got to remember, we from UCF, you know, so this is big time football. Ocho Cinco, man, holla at me, boy. I know you remember that play. It's preseason against New England Patriots. You tried to go deep on me. You tried to call me out. You pointed at me. You say, hey, Carson, I got this rookie over here. I got a duck. Next play, you went deep on me. I got you, boy. I got you once again. I know you remember, Ocho. You remember, boy.
So here go Ocho.
You know you remember. But yeah, man, it was fun times. That was so significant because EP after the game, he, you know, we clapping hands and we looking at each other and, you know, just talking and catching up. And he just looking at me like, wow, when you got that play, I was looking at you like, you a real NFL player. You made it. EP don't get into the game with like 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And he probably got in like the third, fourth quarter.
I got in third, but listen, here's the deal. Yeah, it wasn't y'all starting quarterback. But now I'm motivated. I done went and got a sack, fumble. Like, and we had the thing in the Cincinnati in the stadium called sack of the game or something like that, or play of the game. I don't want to play the game, sack, fumble, all that stuff. But it was against the second team. It wasn't quite as. But I was cool with what I did. I'm always the guy to handle, for all the people out here in life, handle what you can control. And I was able to control and do what I could do to the max, which is why I stayed in the league and did my thing for a while. But let me tell you what was funny that I don't know if I ever told you. Chad came over to the sideline like, hey, that boy live out there.
Hey, appreciate it. You know, hey, people don't really like to give you flowers in front of your face and your compliments. Ocho do, you know, he do, you know. But hey, I like to hear that. Appreciate you, Ocho. I wish I'd have known that my rookie year. You would have really boosted my confidence right now. I'm live, Ocho. I'm live out there, fourth round rookie boy.
Right. That boy live. He always supported Florida guys. Like Ocho when I first got
Ocho's like one of the best dudes around, man. Great dude, man.
Bro, I don't know if you realize that I probably was staying with him at the time. Like, Ocho was like, hey, you from the crib? You from Florida? Yeah, it's only so many Florida dudes on the team in Cincinnati. Ah, man, come hang with me. And we hung out like the whole time I was in Cincinnati. Like roommates, playing the game, all that stuff. But you're a good dude, man. He showed you your respect straight up.
Right. Now tell me, do you remember this, EP? Not particularly towards me, but do you remember this overall in the NFL? Now, after we make the team, right? About the second week or something like that of the season, the union rep, we have a union, NFL union. So the union rep would come by each player's locker so they could sign up and pay their union dues. Union dues back then were about $10,000 at that time, right? So our union rep at the New England Patriots was Mike Vrabel. And when it was time for Mike to collect, he got to my locker and dropped off this suitcase, filled with gifts from the NFLPA, right? Mm-hmm. So he drops off the suitcase, and then next he asked me for my union dues. And I was basically like, no, I don't want to pay that. I didn't really understand what the union was for, and it was $10,000. I'm a rookie, fourth round rookie. This is a tremendous amount of money. I can't really afford to do this.
Wait, hold on. Now, is it union dues or is it 401k?
No, you got the 401k and you got the union dues.
Okay, I got a story about 401k, but go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, so it's time for me to pay my union dues, and so I refuse. I push back against it. I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. So Mike, he grabbed that suitcase, that NFLPA suitcase full of gifts, snatched that thing, walked away, rolled his eyes at me, gave a little twist, walking away on me. I'm like, damn, is that serious? So like I say, I'm a little ignorant. I didn't really understand what was going on. So, you know, I was like, Mike, damn, what did I do? And then, they said this whole thing about the union was optional. So I'm like, why am I being looked at so funny for not donating money or paying union dues? Because I don't really understand this crap. I don't even know who these people are. Where are they? I'm a rookie. You know what I mean? So Mike was very passionate about the union. And pretty much he did the things that needed to be done and not play around with people. Mike is a straight up guy. He ain't playing around. So eventually he had a one-on-one conversation and broke it down to me and made me understand what this whole NFLPA union dues things was about, right? And I paid my dues and I never hesitated again after that. But it was so funny to me how, you know, he snatched that book bag, that suitcase away from me full of gifts, and it went on about his business. Yeah, so
which is why he was a head coach.
Y'all in on the stories and stuff like that. Do you have to pay these union dues? And that's how the NFLPA collects their money to help us navigate through these trying times when we're dealing with these owners and these billionaires trying to get our just doing stuff like that. What you remember about that, brother?
Hey,
the
but listen,
401k.
It sounds funny now, hindsight 2020. If it's Mike Vrabel, it's like, all right, well, I guess that's why he's the head coach now, because he had that authoritative
exactly
or whatever. But no, so mine was 401k, and 401k is optional, right? So they was like, hey, Elton, we getting 225,000 a year for my rookie year, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. And then they come in and had a meeting. Hey, we're going to invest in 401k. It's good for you. I was like, all right, what is for? He was like, your future. You can't touch it till you like 55. I'm like, all right, how much? They're like $10,000. I'm like, in one check? They was like, no, we're gonna do it over the course of the year. And lo and behold, everybody signed up. I was the only one out of all 53 players on the roster that did not sign up. And the union rep came. I don't know who mine was. Hey man, why you didn't sign up? And I was like, no, I don't think I want to do that. Are you serious?
I could do something better with my money, right?
Right. He was like, he was like, are you serious? This is for your future. And I was like, what's this match thing? He was like, the NFL gives 2-to-1 match on your money. I said, but I read something that said they don't do it for rookies. Yeah, that's true. I was like, no, I ain't doing it. He's like, are you serious? I was like, no, I'm not doing it. He's like, why not? I said, because I'm a rookie, went 7 rounds. I might need this money by the end of the year. Why would I lock it up for 40 years? So
40 years. I might need this shit tomorrow. This if I'm releasing something, goddamn it.
He goes down. He like, oh, he walks away. He's so bad. But now, looking at it hindsight, that 10,000, if I would have put it in there, because I did it the rest of the years, I just didn't do it. I only didn't do it the year that they didn't match it. So that 10 would have been about 45, 50,000 right now.
Lord. If we know what we know now, boy. Lord.
If you know what you know now, that 10 would have been about 50, 60,000 right now. Jeez,
so that's letting y'all know a little insight of the things we go through, man, when we have to invest to try to secure our future. We confused. We rookies. We don't have no financial literacy, right? We just, we probably the first generation to make close to this amount of money. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So now, like I said, we on the 2004 season, and we're going to fast forward to week 6. Week 6 against the Seattle Seahawks, Tyrone Poole goes down, and guess who this next man up? I'm moving up. I went from lettuce to flipping burgers. Now I'm back. They're stocking. I don't even have to touch the burgers and the food no more. I'm doing inventory. I'm moving on up. I'm the next man up. Asante Samuel is a starter. My big opportunity to be a starter in NFL. Me and Ty Law starting on each side, right? Right. So we holding it down for a little while, right? Then boom, 2 weeks later, Ty Law gets hurt. And now Randall Gay has to come in and play. The rookie free agent. He is forced into action. You have a 4th rounder and an undrafted rookie free agent in the starting lineup about to lead this team. How crazy is this?
All right.
Now, we get to week 11. We about to play the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, here comes the drama. Here comes more drama. I'm so confused. I don't understand. I'm just trying to play football. I thought if you go out there and produce, the best man wins, all these good things. It's just about competition. But no, I'm learning something totally different here in New England Patriots as a Patriot. So it's like 3rd down and 13. I forget who the quarterback was at Kansas City Chiefs then, but they complete the pass. And it's like 3rd down and 13, but he completed for like 9 yards. And I immediately tackle him and stop him short for the 1st down. And I'm walking off the field, and Bill Belichick comes up to me again with these encrypted messages. I'm not going to sit here and watch you slip around all day. Now I'm looking again because I'm walking off the field, and they're punting us. I'm like, we just got off the field. What the heck happened? Now, mind you, before that game, I'm like, what is the problem? I stopped him. Now, mind you, for that game, it was a whole issue about the field and slippery and stuff, and being slippery and stuff like that. Change of spikes, we was putting in the big cleats to, the longer cleats and things like that to help stop us from some slipping. But he didn't care nothing about that. He had other plans in his mind. Now, if y'all don't understand, you got incentives in your contract. Incentives are things, some incentives can escalate your salary to millions and millions of dollars. And Now I'm trying to understand what is going on. So he walked away after he told me he's not going to watch me slip around all day after I stopped the guy from getting the damn first down, right? So now I'm like, oh, man, I'm kind of confused, just whatever. Now, we're in the fourth quarter. We about to win the game. I get my first injury. Me and the receiver, we go up. It's a deep ball. And I go up first and whatever, but he don't catch it. He miss it. And I come down directly on my shoulder. Boom, I'm banged up. I was diagnosed with an AC sprain. It was nothing too serious. So I have to sit out a few weeks. But if you know what an AC sprain, it's just a little separation of the shoulders. Nothing too serious. I had to sit out a few weeks. I don't really feel like I had to sit out a few weeks, but whatever. I'm sitting out a few weeks. But now after these few weeks, I'm ready to play. I feel good, but Belichick doesn't want to let me play. I'm very anxious to play. I have incentives in my contract. Like I said, I escalate my contract, my next year's salary from $750 to $1.5. So I'm anxious to play, and I'm healthy. So why am I not on the field? So this became an issue. As I would keep telling Belichick I was ready to play, he had a certain timeline in his head already that he wanted to let me back in the starting lineup. Like I say, because of these incentives. Now, a lot of players of the show, I know y'all seen the history of players' helmets getting taken away from them on the sidelines and things like that because they didn't want them to get in the game and collect this incentive. Yeah, man, that stuff is real. That stuff is real. Now, when I was finally cleared to play, I had to take a shot, and this was one of the most painful things I ever had to go through in my life. Like I said, I had an AC sprain right here in this shoulder, right here. So now to play, I got to numb my shoulder up. I'm taking this shot with called lidocaine, and it's to numb my shoulder up. They have to go in between your joints and shoot like 6 times in each area. It was like, oh man, the most painful
how long is the needle?
I ever did.
How long is the needle?
Man, the needle had to be about, let me guess, about 3-4 inches. And it was that real skinny one, and just like slip right down, right into your joints. I didn't even know the needles could go between your bone joints. Like, how they find that junk? And then they numb it up. But yeah, you be ready, you be good to go. I did that like 6 times. You have to get the 6 shots in one area. I did this all the way to the Super Bowl. I was ready to get to the Super Bowl to stop taking these shots. That was my main goal. I was ready to hurry up and get this season over with, because right before the game, I got to take these shots. This is crazy.
How your teammates reacted? How were your teammates, bro?
Man, it was a line of people sitting and waiting. Hey, Zump about to get a shot. Hey, y'all, come on, Zump about to get a shot. I mean, they just want to see me scream and cry and in pain. It was the craziest junk ever, man. So now, this is when things started to pique my interest. In 2005, Brady signed a contract extension, reportedly worth 6 years, worth $60 million, right? 6 years, $60 million. What year was this? 2005. The year before that, Peyton Manning had just signed a 7-year, $98 million contract. What the heck is going on? They straight pimping my boy Brady. You know what I mean? They were getting over on Tom really bad. And this year, I was expecting to be the starter. I was expecting to be the starter with no issues. But this year, we traded for another veteran cornerback, Dwayne Starks from the Arizona Cardinals. And now the games would begin. He got these games. He got Ellis Hobbs. He was drafted in the 3rd round to compete at cornerback as well. So he got a slew of cornerbacks and people to play around with me and my incentives and things like that, because, Ellis, your incentives don't kick in until later. So you got a little system you could play. You just traded for Dwayne Starks. Ain't really no incentives in there. You got a base contract. So he got everything set up how he wanted to be set up, right? So, Dwayne Starks, Bill Belichick really wanted Dwayne Starks and Tyrone Poole to start. But Dwayne Starks got hurt the first game. So it kind of messed Bill Belichick plans up, right? So I was, kind of checked out, just waiting on my opportunity, right? So once again, I'm the starter. I'm the starter in the weird way. I don't know why. You can't stop God's plan. They can't stop me. But I'm starting to realize all this weirdness going on. Why is it just hard for me to go out there and be productive and be Asante Samuel? Now, this year, 2005, it wasn't so great for us cornerbacks at the Patriots. We was a hot mess. We was trying to figure it out. It was just up and down, left and right. Rodney Harrison got hurt, and we didn't have our leader back there, so it was a lot of confusion and things like that. But not bad enough to miss the playoffs, right? Now, in the playoff game against Jacksonville Jaguars, I recorded my first interception in that playoff game against Brian Leffers. And I took it for the house. If y'all don't know, I got the playoff record for interceptions for the touchdown, but that was the first one. Now, as I look back at that interception, and y'all see it on YouTube and stuff like that, and you go watch that video of the 2005, I don't know if it's a wild card against Jacksonville, whatever, but watch my play and watch the interception. You can see Bill Belichick as soon as I make that play. He don't come congratulate me. I don't remember any congratulations from Bill Belichick. Right when I make that play, he walks up to another coach on the staff and high-fives him as if he made the play happen. Like he the one that can do that. You know what's so crazy about that is like after I left the Patriots and went to the Eagles, I'm still making those type of plays. It's called cover 5 trap. And he couldn't have anybody making those plays or coach somebody up to make those plays. So why he always feeling like, that's the thing about Belichick. He feels like he makes you as a player. That's his ego problem. He think his system and all these good things is you're successful because of him. I'm successful because of God gave me a talent, my boy. You understand what I'm saying? You got to realize all these kids and young men out here, we're talented because God gave us talent. You know what I mean? We're successful because God gave us talent. Yeah, your little system is what it is, but hey, man, if the talent can't produce, then what the hell is the talent? You know what I mean? Your system is just a system. You need the players in there to make that system go. You need to understand that. So, like I say, after that preseason game, like I left the Patriots. When I left the Patriots and I went to the Eagles, and I signed my big deal with the Eagles, I'm putting this all together and I'm gonna go back. Mm-hmm. He walks up to me right after the game, or was it before the game? And he whispers to me, "I hope they run cover 5 trap for you, Asante." Shakes my hand and walk away. I'm like, this dude really think he made me. Like, you really think your cover 5 trap is the reason for my success? Where are the other cover 5 trap corners at? Why? Nobody else couldn't do it. Why you think you made me do this and things like that? So I took cover 5 trap along with me everywhere else, and you see me making the same plays everywhere I go because I'm him and I understand the game and know coverages and concepts and things like that, right? So you got to get off that ego trip and stuff. That's probably why he's in the position he is, So I was like, man, this guy really thinks he made me, man, and all that stuff, Belichick ego is super huge if y'all don't know. So we won that game against Jacksonville Jaguars. And now here is a significant game or playoff game that took place in Patriots history because we got bucked this game. Now, after we beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, we had, was it Jay Plummer and the Denver Broncos.
Plummer? Oh, yeah, Jake Plummer.
I think it was Jake Plummer. But we faced the Denver Broncos, and it was the next divisional game, right? The next divisional matchup. In that game, right before the half, Kevin Falk fumbles with under 2 minutes left in the game or in the half for a Broncos turnover. And the very next play, the Broncos, I think it was Ashley on one of them speedy receivers, throw a 50-yard deep pass on me. And I'm stride for stride. I played awesome. And one of the worst calls in the history of the playoffs, they make that call on me. A pass interference call. I'm looking back for the ball and everything. The ball goes way over here. And they call the pass interference call, and the Denver Broncos get the ball right there on their 5-3 2-yard line. And they was able to score. And this was a significant part of the game because they only won by like 7 or 10 points. And like I say, this was right before half. So we stopped them right there and stop them from getting a touchdown, we can possibly move on to the AFC Championship. But now this call still hunts the New England Patriot Nation to this day. That call, the 2005 divisional playoff matchup against Denver Broncos, that horrible pass interference call. Dang, man. But I was balling. I was out there. I was in the playoffs. I'm doing my thing. I'm establishing myself, EP. I'm establishing myself. I'm a starting cornerback in the NFL. I'm playing some top high-class football. Now it's year 4 for me, EP. Year 4, 2006. I missed my playtime incentives. I missed my incentives. He got me. So I was stuck with the 4th-year minimum, base salary at $750,000, right? I couldn't get the $1.5 million that I was trying to get. He got me, right? Now, I haven't seen a single sign that feels like Belichick wants me to be a New England Patriot or like me or anything simple, such like that. Now, this year we signed Rashae Caldwell, Jabbar Gaffney to replace Deion Branch and David Givens, who left in free agency.
Okay.
He could never keep threats for Tom Brady. He could never keep Tom Brady's wide receivers, keep his team together for Tom Brady. Tom Brady had always had to deal with new people coming in. But now this one was a good one. This was a good recruit. He got my dog, me and my dog. We had just signed Rashae Caldwell. I call him Easy Cheese. Boy, we had some fun. This was like some of the best times I was having in New England. I was able to be myself, have fun. Another Florida boys like myself. Easy cheese. Right? We turned that locker room to like the flea market. Because
why they call them easy?
Like the same people. We like
why they call them easy cheese?
We like to gamble all the time, and I took his money in dominoes. That's why I call them easy cheese. So if y'all understand a little context for you, easy cheese mean your cheese is easy, and I'm gonna take it. So that's what it was. When he first got to New England, he was real weak at dominoes until he met me. If my dog was here to argue with me, he'll talk some shit and say, "Boy, stop lying," and all that good stuff. He'll be talking with. We'll have a good time. We'd be arguing. But he was trash. He was trash at dominoes. Now, he eventually got good. I got him good. But man, my dog ain't here to tell his story, man. I wish he would. R.I.P. my dog. But we was connected at the hip, right? And instant in the locker room, we was spending a lot of time together, right? We changed the dynamic of the locker room and we brought them Florida vibes. Belichick didn't like that. Oh no, 2 Florida knuckleheads in one locker room at the same time. Oh man, Bill Belichick, he can't really handle that. That ain't how he foresee things. That ain't the way he pictured things. Now Rashae, he was a baller. He came in working hard, probably too hard. But like I said, we turned the locker room into a gambling house / flea market. He had knockoff Air Force Ones for sale, and I was figuring out any game we can gamble in. I want to gamble, whether it's Tomp, dominoes, shooting the taped up ball into the garbage, or whatever it was. I just want to gamble and compete right before we got to go to meets. So much went down in that season, man. It was so much that went down. And now I'm one of the big dogs on the team. So my temperature is kind of changing from my perspective. You can't deal with me any kind of way. You can't be expecting those rookie ways and things like that. Now, almost everyone participated in me and Easy Cheese shenanigans. We were starting to have a little fun in the facilities, and things were starting to just feel normal and right. I can remember having about 3 interceptions to start the season, right? And out of nowhere, Belichick wants to bench me. I'm so confused again. But I was used to his games at this time, but I'm balling. I have like 3 interceptions. It's my free agent year. Why does he want to bench me? He preferred to have Troy Brown, the wide receiver on the field who never played DB, starting him at nickel and have me on the bench. So, it was what it was.
I remember that.
So I was inactive for like week 11 for no apparent reason. Then we played the Green Bay Packers. I asked my agent at the time, because I was inactive again. What was my value? How much would I make if I make it to free agency, without playing again? He was like $6 or $7 million. I was like, okay, cool. I'm cool with that. So now I'm tripping. I'm not really a pleasant athlete or a pleasant teammate at this point. I'm wilding out doing my thing. I'm being a little disobedient because I was tired of the games. So I'm just enjoying myself, trying not to crash out. So make the best out of it, Asante, right? Then week 12 comes around. And it was time for us to face Rex Grossman, the Chicago Bears. But I'm still on the bench. You got Ellis Hard, Troy Brown, and Chad Scott. These are the starters. I'm still on the bench, and I'm the fourth quarterback. But Chad Scott, an older veteran, came from Pittsburgh Steelers. He was scheduled to start. But on that Thursday, you can't stop God's plans. I'm not saying it was predicated towards him, but he comes down with a minor injury, something in his hip or leg or something like that. And guess what? I'm up again. He can't play. Chad Brown can't play. As soon as he see me, he gonna be like, give me some of that money, son. Give me some of that money, boy. You owe me, boy. Because he know, man, he's seen that thing. He's seen it come to fruition right in front of our face. You know what I mean? So, boom, Chad Scott goes down the Thursday before the game, and I'm up, right? So the game took place in Foxborough, Chicago Bears versus New England Patriots. Rex Grossman at quarterback. It was one of those cold games, right? And on the first series about the third play of the game, Rex Grossman tries to hit a quick slant on me. An interception by Asante Samuel. Again and again, interception. I had 3 interceptions that game. And I had the game-winning interception. Nothing could stop me now. Remember, I told you I had 3 before this, so now I got 6. Yeah. And I'm about to be a free agent. No more games could be played. You can't try to bench me because I'm established. And people are going to wonder, why am I on the bench? Or why he's not playing. So he's kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place. So I started to see, this year is when I started to see the power of Belichick. When my dog Easy Cheese, we went through a lot, right? So with Rashay Caldwell, one day he was in Providence. Rashay Caldwell was one day in Providence. Like I say, Florida boy, wild boy like myself, up to no good. He in Providence making a transaction. And let's just say the transaction was an illegal transaction. So he was detained. I'm not going to say he was arrested. So he called him some type of sting or something like that, and he was detained. And he told me they called Bill Belichick and let him right out. And when he let him right out, he got a call from Belichick to meet Belichick in his office. And Belichick explained to him he know what went down. But he never got any charges. Nothing never happened. And I don't know what type of I do know what type of transaction, but I ain't going to speak on it. But that's to let you know the power of Bill Belichick. The police officers, they called Bill Belichick directly and asked him, what do you want us to do with him? And, that's when I started to see the power of Belichick. So now week 17, right? Week 17, the last game of the season. Why am I talking about the last game of the season? Week 17 against Tennessee Titans. Vince Young is the starting quarterback, the all-world Texas quarterback, Heisman Trophy. Now, me and Champ Bailey are neck and neck. We're competing for the #1 leader in interceptions in the NFL this season. Now, we both had 9 interceptions entering week 17. Now, that game, Vince Young tried to hit his receiver on a deep ball. Boy, on that deep ball, it was one of my best plays, boy. I ran that ball down, boy, like I had 4.3 speed, took off on the receiver. It was like this right here. It was like, we going for the ball, and I just took off and went and got that thing. And like, I went and got that thing. So pick, bomb, like I had 4.3 speed. Now I got 10 interceptions. I'm the NFL leader, baby. Asante Samuel is the NFL leader in the NFL in interceptions. So as the game went on, someone on the staff, it came up to me and was like, guess what, Asante? And I'm thinking to myself, no way. And he's like, Champ Bailey got another interception. I'm like, oh my goodness, man. This is wild, bro. So we both got 10 interceptions. So we both tied the lead for interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
But now, this game is still significant. So much went down, like I said. Now on the sidelines, so y'all just watching the game. Y'all seeing all the beautiful things during the game. But on the sideline, another Florida boy. Florida boys, we gonna stick together through thick and thin, no matter what's going on, wherever we at in the world. We gonna always stick together. So Vince Wilfork comes up to me on the sideline and says something to the extent that, "Are y'all cool with Teddy Bruschi?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, well, what's up? What's going on? Well, son, he over there asking who be at Rashay house gambling all times of night and smoking pot and carrying on. That's probably why Rashay dropping these balls and things like that. And I'm like, what? He talking like that on the side? What's going on? Dude don't know how to mind his business. Nah, he didn't point it towards me because I was walking right past him. I want to see what he gonna say to me. He ain't say nothing to me. Like I said, I'm the big dog on the team. But he was really trying to get on Easy Cheese. So I went up to Easy Cheese. I'm like, Easy. I told him the situation. I told him what was said. Like, man, dude trying to get, take your manhood away from you. Your livelihood. Sorry, not your man, your livelihood. He trying to get you released, talking all this craziness about your personal life on the sideline, bro. Man, go punch him in the face right now, Easy Cheese. Go punch him in the face right now on the sideline, bro. You shouldn't have that man talking crazy like that. Easy Cheese looked at me. With them bug eyes. I should do it right here, son. I should go punch him. I was like, yeah, dog. I was so serious, man. And he was about to. And I would have been right there with him because, I was the main one at Easy Cheese house gambling and with all the shenanigans. But can you imagine a player getting stumped out during the game on the sideline? Because it was really about to happen, man. You got the lesson is mind your business, whether you think you're a company man, the lead on the team, whatever. Mind your business, man. That stuff can lead into some crazy things. And you playing with people livelihood because you think you top dog and company man and whatever, this and that on the team. You better mind your business, or you're gonna have to deal with some other Florida issues. You understand what I'm saying? That's how that junk go. And I'm just being real. You know what I mean? I'm just telling y'all the story. I'm telling y'all the back end story of how things go down and the things we go through. So like I said, I finished the year with 10 interceptions in the regular season and 2 more in the playoffs, baby, and picked off the all-world legend Peyton Manning in the AFC Championship.
Oh, yeah, AFC I remember. I think it was AFC Championship.
However, he came back and whooped our ass, and we took that loss. Right. But now that we lost, it's all good. We lost. I wanted to win, but I'm finally a free agent, baby. I am free. At least I thought I was. At least I thought so. And I seen what I had seen in the past year, right before this year, cornerback signing these big mega deals. Nate Clemens had just signed an 8-year, $80 million deal.
Oh, yeah.
So I was excited for what was about to come. I was excited to finally get my lotto ticket, that my money, my life-changing money, to be able to take care of my family, go buy my mama a house. She never experienced living in the house she owned and things like that. So I was excited. It's my opportunity. Belichick wanted his money. I want my money. You understand? What's the issue? We all can be paid. This ain't no issue, ain't no problem. But I get a call from a 508 number. A 508 area code is the Foxborough, Massachusetts area. I get a call. And it's Bill Belichick telling me he is going to franchise me. Remember, I just told you there's no inclination, nothing positive that I seen anything that this man liked me. He likes my play. He appreciate me. I haven't seen anything. I haven't felt any of this. So now I'm like, I'm so confused. Why are you franchising me? Franchise mean you're the franchise of the team. Why are you putting that label on me? I was confused. Like, you don't like me. So this is the first time I had cried in a long time. I was crying. I was like, this is bullshit, Belichick. Why are you doing to me? And he gave the little small talk. Asante, I never said that. I always like you, one of my best players, and all that small talk bullshit, right? Right. So I requested to speak to the owner, Robert Kraft, and to no avail. Same situation. Mr. Kraft could have stopped a lot of his favorite players from leaving. Ms. Kraft, you told me I was your favorite player, but you let Bill Belichick override you and get rid of all your favorite players. And I believe that I believe that I was your favorite player. So, one of your favorite players, because I was getting the ball. I got the ball. How can I be your favorite player? You understand what I'm saying?
All right.
So he franchised me, all this craziness going on. I'm in the off season. So I held out as long as I can without missing any money, of course. I ain't missing my money. So I held out as long as I can. I popped up with about 2 weeks left before the first game of the 2007 season. I went against everyone's advice and wishes, my agent, my mama, EP, and whoever else, because it was a confusing situation. Holding out was a big, big thing. And people looking at me crazy. Asante holding out? You know what I mean? Like I said, the Patriots, I didn't give any indication to the Patriots when it was time for me to come. Because like I said, I came with 2 weeks left. So I popped up. I got there and I told Belichick, I'm not going to cooperate or be a cordial player on this team if you don't agree not to franchise me next year. You have to agree not to franchise me next year. Before that was just mute. He wouldn't even have a conversation with us on the phone. So like I say, I had to pop up then and show him, hey, I can fight fire with fire. This is how you want to roll? I'm going to roll the same way. You act like you don't care and I can sit out as long as I want. I'm going to show you I don't care. So this is when I fully started to understand how Belichick worked, right? So, so I pop up, I didn't give no indication to anybody. I go there, I tell Belichick, I say, Belichick, listen here. I need this money. I need you not to franchise me next year. This is life-changing money for me. I'm going to sign this contract regardless. It's guaranteed. I'm going to sign this regardless. But if you don't agree not to franchise me next year, I'm not going to be a cordial player. I'm going to be a disobedient and pretty much mess up this team. And this is when, well, back up. So Belichick, he looked at me. He told me, okay, leave. He told me leave, and they will call me, right? So they called, and now we're on the phone. We're on the phone. Me, Bill, Scott Pioli, and my agent. We all having a conversation about this easy contract to work out. Just not to franchise me. It ain't really tough. They had me on the phone to about 2 a.m. in the morning, talking crazy. So, like I said, I'm starting to understand Bill Belichick's desires and how he wants to operate and what he wants this whole NFL scope to be in the numbers and stuff. So we sent over basic numbers as a preliminary contract, averaging $11 million a year as my first proposal. And the response, try to guess what the response was back from Bill Belichick and staff. After I sent over a proposal of $11 million a year.
Well, knowing that they don't like a lot of the times pay the players, they probably was like, it's a little out of our reach. This is probably where we would want to be at right now, which would be a lower amount, maybe.
That's the nice way to say it. The other way to say it is, what do you want us to do? Cut Tom Brady or something? What the fuck Tom Brady got to do with my negotiations and shit? And I mean, you remember I told y'all, Peyton Manning had just signed a 7-year, $98 million deal. Right. So if they can keep Brady's numbers low, then they can try and justify why players like myself or anybody else should take $6 million or lower, because Brady's only making $10 million. Right?
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? So,
I see.
They sent back a proposal to me for $6 million a year. Went up from 5 to 6. That was their best. And that was their best proposal. And it was pretty much a slap in the face to me. And that's when I started realizing. I'm starting to realize we're arguing for 2 hours, for hours, about 2 a.m. in the morning. And they finally agreed not to franchise me if I played 70% of the snaps on defense. So we got through that. And I told him, we got through that. So I signed the deal and we moving on. So now the next day I get to the facilities and sign my franchise tag. And now we got these new players and new weapons. We got Randy Moss, Dante Stallworth, and so on and so forth. And some weapons that Brady can really thrive with and be the best Brady that possible. Now, my dog, Easy Cheese, this man was a character. Like I say, Easy Cheese was a character. So we going through, Easy Cheese was the leading receiver on the team last year. So Easy Cheese has going through this dilemma that I went through with the Terrell Buckley situation because Bill just signed Randy Moss and Dante Stallworth and things like that. So, Randy Moss is there, and they're putting Randy Moss, I guess, behind Easy Cheese, or eventually they'd move him into the spot. And he comes up to me like, Zun, what you think going on with Randy Moss? You think you're finna play him in front of me or something like that? I say, yeah, fool, what you think he's here for? And he looking at me like, you crazy. Randy Moss got to play behind me. Bro, that's Randy Moss, bro. What is wrong with you? I'm lead receiver, this and that. Man, go have a conversation with Bill, bro. You need to go have a conversation with Bill Belichick. You think Randy Moss? That, yes. And check his temperature, see how he's feeling. So Easy Cheese go have his conversation with Bill Belichick, and he comes back, and he's feeling good. Belichick kind of gave him the same conversation he gave with me in the Terrell Buckley situation. He tells Easy Cheese, no, Easy Cheese, I just have Randy Moss and them here to push you and challenge you and to help you out. You don't have to be out here by yourself. So he's like, yeah, them boys got to play behind me, son. I say, Belichick told you that? I said, you better go talk to Belichick again. Boy, he finna cut you, boy. What's wrong with you?
Randy Moss is not Terrell Buckley coming in. Randy Moss was Randy Moss coming in. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm like, bro, like what do you what? That don't even sound right. Randy Moss backing up Rashay Caldwell, like she's like, come on, bro.
Like even with your story, son, it's like that's similar to Belichick would have brought in Champ Bailey your second year.
Right.
Nah, it's like, whoa, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like, I think I'm about to play over Champ Bailey my second year. Like, this is Champ Bailey. Like, you know what I mean? Now, Easy Cheese was raw. He was good.
Right.
I think it kind of burnt him out too his rookie year in training camp. He was working so hard. I'm like, why are you working so hard, fool? He was just, they had him, boy. So that one season I got to spend with Rashay Caldwell, my dog, Easy Cheese on the team, man, that was the most fun we had in a long time, or most fun we had out of any season as a Patriot.
Man, I want to ask this though real quick, because I know if I was into it, because people love Tom Brady stories.
Right.
So a personal Tom Brady story in the locker room, right, that you told me about is shooting the basketball, shooting the basketball and stuff, how he never really wanted to do it.
Yeah.
But he saw y'all doing it and got involved and started getting competitive on the basketball.
Yeah. So remember, you got to remember where I'm at with the story. You remember where I'm at?
What's that?
With the story before.
Yeah.
All right, so remember where I'm at with the story.
Yeah.
So I'll tell y'all the basketball story with Tom Brady. Now, Tom Brady got a lot to do with this, these issues and things that are going on in the Patriots and this Patriot marathon. And I'm gonna get to that towards the end. But so, like I say, me and Easy Cheese, we turned the locker room into the flea market. I'm the gambler and he's the hustler. He got knockoffs. He'll sell anything. So now I just want to gamble with anybody. And I created this game, or my homie Eugene Wilson showed me this game where you tape up a ball into a circle around about that big, not too big, like just about the size of a softball. And then you get the garbage can. Empty out the garbage can. You don't want all that trash in there. You put it any distance you want and you shoot. So I'm doing this every day. I'm shooting. I'm taking all the shots. I bet anybody. Hey, I make 5 shots. They bet. They handing me the money. We just shooting. We shoot. So Brady, all of a sudden one day, Brady comes in. He never participates. He never even looked that way. He's like, watch out, son. I got this bet. Are you going to shoot? Yeah, I'm shooting. And I give him one shot. And I put it way back in the corner somewhere. And one shot. And now, this is Tom Brady, because Tom Brady's focused. He's in his books. He studies. He ain't, he has a routine that he sticks by and he goes through every day. So there's one shot. We got that money on. We got the money on the line. One shot. Everybody looking. Brady go back, hit it, boom. Ooh, everybody go wild like it was a real game. They're jumping up and down. I remember exactly, he hit me for like 6 bands or something like that. 4 bands or something like that. And man, it was crazy. Everybody was just going crazy because, it was so excited that, damn, Brady got me on the shot. That was my game. But, that's a little quick, Brady. We got so many stories, you know what I mean?
That's funny, man. He's so competitive. But no, we was talking about with Moss coming in that season and Easy Cheese thinking he's gonna start.
So like I say, Easy Cheese was head over heels, man. They ended up releasing my dog Easy Cheese, and he went to Washington and stuff like that. But we kept Jabbar Gaffney and Dante Starworth and stuff like that. Now, like I say, 2007 season, we were balling out of control. We couldn't do no wrong. Everything was being timed up right. No one could beat us. We was putting off the little games, the close games, the big games, everything. Everything was going our way. Randy Moss and Tom Brady were breaking records. He finally had weapons like any other team in NFL, not the mediocre weapons that can cause mass destruction on another team. You understand what I'm saying? Randy Moss type of player. So, Brady showed you what he could do with that, right? So after one of our victories, Belichick came in and cussed us out because he didn't like the way we played or some stuff like that. And everybody's feeling down. This is the ego and the psyche that Belichick has over us. So he cussing us out and everybody's feeling down after we just won the game. So after he finished his speech and walks away, I start looking at everybody, morale's down, I'm yelling, what are y'all upset for? We just won the game. Don't be letting him get y'all walk around with your head down. Don't let him get you down. We just won. You know how hard it is to win the game? And everybody start, picking their morale back up. I'm like, why y'all letting him get you like this? We just won. And it's like, why did he want to attack us? And I understand we was free agent and, can't be complacent and things like that. But it was just like the mentality that we submitted to, it was just crazy, So now we're at the Super Bowl.
This the undefeated season?
We're at the Super Bowl, undefeated, baby.
Oh, okay.
We are at the Super Bowl, undefeated, 2007, 2008, however you want to look at it. And once again, I'm just confused. We are at the Super Bowl undefeated, and he is making practice hard as can be, and we are in full pads, and I can't understand why. I am just super agitated with what he's got going on. Like Tom said, I wasn't signing up for whatever else he had going on. And that's what you see, and that's a good point that Tom Brady said. I recognize that 4 or 5 years into my career. I'm not signing up for whatever else he has going on. This is foolishness. I don't know why it took Tom Brady so long to figure this out. You understand what I'm saying? Like I say, you had practice. We're practicing hard, full pads and all, and practice is just dry. There's no energy. We can't get up. It's hot, or it's not even that hot. It's not hot. It's just full pads. And it's week 25 because you play the preseason and things like that. It's week 25 and we're tired, and I'm super ready to go. Ain't nothing stopping me at this point. I reached my 75% playing time threshold and I'm going to be a free agent. So it is what it is. It was what it was. Can't nobody stop me, and I am being me, right? But I'm just agitated with the way he's presenting and making us practice we're such a great team. We're undefeated. Now, we all know the results of the game and how that went. We didn't get to pull it off, and we lost the game. And it was so many issues with that game. So many things that could have went differently. But to conclude this Patriots marathon, right? To conclude this Patriots marathon, I always felt like Brady was the reason a lot of Belichick shenanigans were able to work, because he always took way below fair market value as a quarterback, when he signed these contracts. Now, on the other hand, what if Brady did demand to be paid top dollar? And we probably wouldn't got to witness a dynasty in New England. So it goes back and forth. It's like, Brady, you are the reason that Belichick was allowed to handle players like this, try to pay everybody low salaries because you took a low salary. But soon as Brady would have demanded that top dollar, Brady would have been gone. And now we wouldn't have got to see the greatness and all the things that came to fruition after from Tom Brady. So it's like has me a little perplexed. And I really believe that Brady should have stood up for himself a long time ago. I believe, how much money you think Brady left off the table in 20 years? I'm gonna say, if you go about $4-5 million a year off of 20 years, yeah, it's about $70-80 million. Maybe it goes to 100. I'm sure
probably
Brady
close to
left
100.
a cool $100 million off the table.
Cool.
Just to be treated like this at the end. Like, that is just crazy, man. That is crazy.
But it's one thing though, because I know the avid Patriots fan is like, when they say the Patriots way, that's like you sacrifice to win those championships. And like you just said, maybe you don't get that level of success if you don't sacrifice for what, or if he goes to the Arizona Cardinals because he wanted more money. Or he wanted
but see, that's what I'm
here.
saying. Like, everybody's seeing it as a sacrifice. It's not really a sacrifice. It's either you take it or you gone. It's not a sacrifice. Right. It's not no we will give you the money or we will give you more money. It's either you take what we're presenting in front of you or you're out of here. So there's no sacrifice. But the media and the stories, they'll try to make it seem like it's a sacrifice. That's what I'm here to correct. Where Patrick Mahomes said him and Andy Reid, he's going to take the Tom Brady approach and try to reduce his cap number and stuff like that and reduce his salary to bring in more players. No, that was not happening. That was forced upon Tom Brady. Tom Brady wants top money. Everybody wants top money. You know what I mean? And he just wasn't able to do it. And he understood if he didn't take what they was offering, like me, when they offered me $6 million, I understood if I don't take this, I'm gone. That's what it is. And he
would have took the $6 million. If Brady was you in your situation,
he would have took the $6 million.
Okay.
Half the team would have took the $6 million and dealt with the shenanigans and let them play it around and stuff like that. And it took him so long to realize. And I'm sure, I know this from the bottom of my heart. When Brady got to a new team in Tampa and he saw the atmosphere and how everybody operated, it was so loose and free and you could be yourself. I know he looked back at those days and feel like, man, this was such craziness I had to inherit and deal with and things like that and so on and so forth.
You didn't see Brady on that boat?
The Dynasty. The Dynasty, the first series, it's the part that's eating me up. When Brady makes a statement and he says, he had 20 years of greatness and fun, and he's not going to let no one mess that up. I'm the only one messing this up, Brady. You got to understand that. There is no outsider that started this. It's the insider. It's me. So it ain't no messing it up. It's the telling the truth, brother. So you can either come out and tell your truth, or you can come out and play politics and say all the correct things. I don't know how to do that. I'm not an actor. I tried acting one time. I got a fucking F-. I don't know how to act. That's the worst job for me. So I'm just telling my stories and I tell the way it is. So there's no outsiders messing this up. I'm just telling you the truth, Brady. Brady, if you take top money, you wouldn't have been a Patriot. If you were to demanded top money, you wouldn't have been a Patriot. And this whole dynasty thing would have been we would have never seen it. It never been mentioned.
Maybe they was perfect for each other.
At the end of the day, like I say, go ahead.
Maybe Brady was the right one for them to put their stuff on, like the right one to say, okay, I take it,
Yeah, I mean, obviously he was the right one, obviously. But like I say, man, sometimes we don't understand. We coming in as kids, we're just happy to play football. We just want to play football. We just love to compete. Then we start understanding the business and the money, and then we start seeing that people taking advantage of us, and we learn and we grow, mature, and you look back on things like in the dynasty thing where Tom Brady talk about how he brought Ty Law talk about how he sold Tom Brady his apartment, gave him $150,000 worth of furniture in there and all these things. But Ty think he gave him a great deal. And Tom probably thought that as his young years. But now Tom, when he was older, he realized, man, Tom, you got over on me this house. You oversold me this house. You oversold this furniture and everything. God damn it, you really got over on me, you fellow rookie, my rookie man, fellow Michigan brother. So Yeah, man, that's the overall breakdown in the Patriot Marathon. That's when I could go in details with a lot of things. I don't want to get personal. I didn't want to talk about specific players and situations like that. Those things will come up another time. You know what I mean?
Right.
But what do you conclude from Belichick, brother? What you say?
Man, I think it was, like you said, is note taking. I think it's very intriguing. I think a lot of people are into what went on behind the scenes because it was like a secret society. It's almost like it was Coke ran over there, Bill Belichick and the Patriots way. It's like, what is the Patriots way? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I do think it worked out, right? Like you say, we might not be talking about the dynasty had Tom Brady stood up for himself and wanted to make more money, right? And what I was going to say too, how you saying it's just fun. He probably looked around in Tampa like, wow, just look at Brady after they won that Super Bowl when they was tossing the trophy back and forth. And he was drunk and having the time of his life. He's like, wow, what have I been doing for the past 18 years? You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I see both sides of it, man. But nonetheless, I think everybody's intrigued. And I would like to see in the comments if people want to hear specific questions or they have questions about.
Yeah. Make sure we looking at the comments. How much was Asante deal with Philly? And it was a 6 year, same thing Brady got, bro. It was a 6 year, $60 million deal. How you go figure? You know what I mean? The same thing Brady got, bro. So that's how they treat you in the New England Patriots.
Right.
So what you said? What you said?
No, I was just saying like maybe they can ask us more because the series is still going on, correct? With the dynasty.
Yeah, not about the comments. I thought it was something. Yeah, read these comments off. See if anything else you see we could get in the comments. But
they've been in. Our people been in the comments, man. Don Play been in there.
Got to get that chat going. Get the chat going.
All right.
Yeah. Overall, man, Belichick. Man, good things come to an end, and sometimes we can mess good things up. And I think Belichick really, really screwed this thing up really bad, man. And it didn't have to be like this. It didn't have to be like this.
Right.
What you see down there?
There's someone. Richie Guntner says I was hurt when Asante left. Definitely top 3 corner in his prime.
Yeah, I was hurt too, man. All us players, but despite of what we say and what you see, we want to stay where we're born at into the NFL. I didn't want to leave New England. I didn't want to learn a new place. I'm thankful I did, but I was hurt to leave. I wanted to stay there. I was born there. I went through all my ups and downs there, and I wanted to be a Patriot for the rest of my life. I wanted to have 50 interceptions as a New England Patriot. But Bill Belichick and his ways, man, they came back to hunt him. And dang, it's so many players, man. There's so many players that I can count and tell you that should have been around, and Robert Kraft should have stepped in and stopped the shenanigans, but he was believing in Bill. He was winning. But we thought it was Bill. But, we understood it was Brady. So, we're going to move on, and it is what it is.
Father of 3 wrote, real Zunt fans already know these stories. Laugh out loud.
Right.
Then generic Pats fans said he just loved these stories. No, this is hot though. Like your stuff at the Patriots was, you would think that you was there 10 years.
Yeah, I was there 5, but it's it's so weird. Like I try to say, if I'm not in the picture, if I don't come to the Patriots in year 3, right in the middle of this dynasty being created, no one will be able to be here to tell these stories and expose the truth. They will control the narrative and say whatever they want to say. Belichick and the Eagles, 2 egos clash. There's no 2 egos clash. Brady ego didn't clash with Belichick's ego. It's all Belichick. You know what I mean? Right. Belichick can make things right and nothing has to crash. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes will never clash. They will go on and have a successful career together and be cool and cordial for the rest of their careers. I promise you that won't go down with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. It's not possible.
Yeah.
But I would say what needs to be said. We had the Patriots Marathon. I had to give y'all the backstory, the ins and outs. telling these stories and things like that. But that was it. So we're gonna stay updated to the Dynasty. We're gonna get through this series, and anything they don't have in there, they don't tell y'all the truth. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, so y'all don't have to worry. So until next time, in between time, say what needs to be said. We out, baby.
Peace.